Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Today, I am going to use this segment regarding reincarnation. I've had so many questions, and thank you for all the questions to all of you for keeping them coming in. But I've had so many people asking about various things regarding reincarnation. So all your questions are great, and I wanted to address it today. All right. So the first one that we're going to address is if a loved one chose to be reincarnated soon after passing, does that mean they are no longer with you or remember you? Well, when you're reincarnated into a new body, we are recycled souls in new bodies. Basically, what does that mean? We generally have no memory of a past life. The only time is if you do a past life regression and you're able to touch upon things that happened in a prior lifetime. But do you remember who you were in another lifetime, what you did? The answer is no. Do you remember the people? Now, that part is interesting. When you meet somebody and you have this instant attraction to somebody, your soul is recognizing that soul. So it does remember something. If you meet somebody and you despise this person, and this person hasn't really done anything in this lifetime to constitute you feeling this way, you probably had a run-in in another lifetime. So do we remember our lives previous? The answer generally is no. Okay, but we do have the feeling of when we meet somebody that we just feel that strong connection. That definitely stays. So that's a great question. The second question is, does a person know when they have died? If I die, will my spirit still be with me? Or will my spirit be the person I was in another lifetime? When you pass, you will know when you pass. Sometimes when people pass very quickly, like if it was an explosion or a head-on collision, or, the soul just jumps out of that body so quickly, it's like, what just happened here? Or if you were sleeping and you just never wake up, the soul comes out of the body and looks at your body now, the physical realm of it, and saying, what just happened? So sometimes you don't always realize that you passed, but you will, because then you start seeing the light. You may start seeing various spirits that were family members or friends, and you're going to be like, okay, they're telling you, hey, you're gone. So I love that question. When it says, or will my spirit be the person I was in another life? You'll have traces in the next lifetime when you choose to reincarnate to who you were. In other words, the example is if you were a healer, if you were a doctor, a medic, a nurse, somehow it will find its way in the new lifetime for you to do something again of the healing, because this is something that's embedded into you. It's very interesting. Or if you've always been very, very good with your hands, you'll probably do something very meaningful again. So there are traces of our spirit that will surface again in the next lifetime. So if you were a teacher, you probably will always teach in some manner. Were you a psychic? I've had people ask me. I can use myself as an example. Have I been psychic in other lifetimes? The answer is most definitely yes, because my soul is in such a higher level of perception to so many degrees that soul will keep doing it over and over again. So if I come back in another lifetime, will I be a psychic again? I may not use it the way I'm doing it now, but what I'm feeling is at a higher level. So if somebody's very, very, very intuitive, chances are you will continue to be so in the next lifetime. All right, so that's a good one too. Next question. I want to know, can your soul have lived many different lives in many different places and homes? Of course. A lot of times people will ask me, Susan, am I an old soul? And I can always tell, or I'll even volunteer it before they ask. I can usually tell how many lifetimes somebody has had, or if you're a newbie and you haven't been, doing this over and over again. So you can live all over the world. I remember one year I had gone to Greece, and in those years, when you got off the plane, you literally got off by the runway. It's different now, but back then you did, and you'd have to walk down the stairs of the airplane and then walk to the airport. And it was very interesting, but when I remember getting off the plane, I knew exactly where I was, that I had been there before. I knew every route. I knew how to get there. I knew every building. I knew why it was there and the history that it was there. It was the most uncanny thing I've ever felt. So was Greece my home in a previous lifetime? You betcha. So we can really be pulled to a different country or a state and we feel like it's been home before. Chances are it has. You know, there was this little child and the mother would take her son to school every day. And this little boy said to his mother, I died there. And there was this bridge with a lake. And she goes, what do you mean you died there? He goes, I died there. I know exactly what's down there. And he said it. By the way, the little boy was only 4 years old. So you will have instances and memories of certain things. So you living in a different place, different houses, absolutely. Sometimes you can look at a house and it's familiar in this lifetime that maybe the house was 200 years old, or the land, you were there. You maybe were a farmer in a different lifetime or whatever. So the soul will have different instances of memories to why it feels what it feels and why it gravitates. So that's a great question. So I like that one. The last question is, do souls choose who they're going to reincarnate to? Why would a soul want to be in a poverty-stricken, African or poor or struggle all their life on earth? Great question. All right. The reason I picked this question is because so many people, when bad things happen, question God and why are they even here? Or why did they even sign up for such misery? It's not that you signed up to be unpleasant or miserable, but the task that you needed to fulfill for your soul growth or for others. Sometimes when you're here to teach others based on your experiences to what they leave with. Or it could be things that you still have to learn with the intentions of the experience to how it's going to leave your soul growth. I always say, the bottom line is we have to be as close to God-like as possible. We have to be male, female, male again, female again, rich, poor, homeless, rich again, handicapped, gay. All of the things that you have to go through, all of these different differences. Why? Because we have to feel, if we were bullied, we have to know what that feels like. There's a lot of different experiences that go with these different genders. If a gay person, it's hard. And I mean, we've come a long way in this lifetime, but in other lifetimes it was never accepted. Handicap. If you signed up to be handicapped, you're going to say, well, why would I ever do that? Well, maybe you're signing up for your mother who has to learn how this woman is going to adjust to you being sickly or different for your mother's soul growth or for your father's soul growth. I always say one person could be going through such turmoil in the family and the 5 other members are taking away something different because of the experience. It's never really to punish, although I know it feels like a punishment. What it was like to be a black person, what it was like to be a Jewish person, or whatever it is. Maybe we had to go through war for us to come out squeaky clean on the other side to really understand what we should be fighting for, peace and freedom. All of these things are circulating our souls to be what we really need to be. And for us to have empathy for people that are different and not to judge, because maybe we have to be one of those people so we can understand that it wasn't so fun, and maybe the next lifetime we need to do something about it and show empathy. So the bottom line is God keeps giving us as many chances as need be for us to get it right for our soul growth. because one day we will stop reincarnating and we can join God truly in the kingdom of the afterlife permanently. So I know life is hard, and I know people get dealt a bad hand sometimes. Like I always say, it's not how we fall, it's how we pick ourselves up. It's a true test. And even though it's really sad and it's hard, it's our attitude that's going to carry us. I can see so many people having such terrible lives, and they've gone down with it. And then I see people that have lost so many loved ones, that had a hard time, but they still manage to pick themselves up, not be bitter, and smile and say it's a new day. So basically, this is what this is. But everything in every lifetime and every experience we go through is to teach us and others. So, reincarnation is real. God never just gives us one chance to experience everything, because it's physically impossible to experience everything in one lifetime. That's why I always say, when you see somebody that seems like they have the golden horseshoe up their butt, no matter what they touch turns to gold. They've got a great family, they're beautiful looking people, they've got money. I always say, be happy for them, because in other lifetimes, they probably weren't as fortunate and lucky. And in this lifetime, it's their turn to get it all good. And that's the way I always like to look at it. So never be unhappy or jealous for somebody. Be happy for them, because their other lifetimes probably weren't so great. And it's their turn. Just like tomorrow, maybe it's not your turn in this lifetime, but it will be in another one. All right? So I hope this has enlightened you. I hope that's giving you a lot more food for thought in reincarnation. Keep the questions coming. Subscribe to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And I really hope you have a really great rest of the week. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.